All right, Pokemon trainers, get ready, because today we are diving deep into a Pokemon fan theory. It's a real head-scratcher. Buckle up, because we're talking Ditto. Yeah, the pink blob that can transform into any Pokemon. But what if I told you that Ditto's origins are, well, a little more complicated than that? There's this theory floating around that Ditto is actually a failed Mew clone. A failed Mew clone. Yeah, I know, it sounds crazy, right? But hear me out. Let's start with basics. Who is Ditto? Well, he's a normal type Pokemon, known for one thing and one thing only, transforming. He can turn into any other Pokemon. Pretty cool, right? You'd think with an ability like that, he'd be super powerful, but he's not. He's kind of, well, underwhelming. And that's where this theory comes in. What if Ditto's lack of power is because he's a failed experiment, a failed attempt to recreate the mythical Pokemon, Mew? And there's actually some pretty compelling evidence to support this. First off, Ditto and Mew share some pretty striking similarities, like, for example, their base stats. Now, for those who don't know, base stats in the Pokemon world are like a Pokemon's genetic potential. It determines their strengths and weaknesses in battle. And guess what? Ditto and Mew have the exact same base stats. Not similar, identical. Every single stat, attack, defense, speed, HP, everything. That's not just a coincidence, folks. It's a huge red flag that there's some deeper connection going on here. And the similarities don't end there. Both Ditto and Mew are pink, and they even weigh the same. 4 kilograms. Exactly. Now, on their own, these might seem like small things, right? But when you start to put them all together, it paints a pretty interesting picture. It's like finding pieces of a puzzle, and they all fit together just a little too perfectly. But there's one more piece to this puzzle, where you find Ditto. They're often found in places that, well, suggest some kind of scientific experimentation, like caves, abandoned labs, places where maybe a cloning experiment could have gone wrong. Think about it. What if these Dittos are the discarded results, the failed attempts at recreating Mew, left to roam free because they couldn't live up to the original's incredible power? It's a chilling thought, isn't it? But it gets even darker. What if Ditto is aware of this? Imagine being a Ditto, existing in a state of constant transformation, never having a true form of your own, always a copy, never the original. That would mess with your head, wouldn't it? And some people think that this awareness, this constant state of being a failed copy, might actually breed resentment in Ditto, a longing for the power they were meant to have, a desire to break free. Suddenly, that adorable pink blob doesn't seem so harmless anymore, does it? So what does this all mean? Well, for one thing, it changes how we look at Ditto. It adds this whole new layer of depth and tragedy to their existence. Makes you wonder if their constant transformations are actually a sign of their own internal struggle. But it also makes you think about the bigger picture, the ethics of scientific experimentation in the Pokemon world, the lengths people will go to for power, and the consequences of that ambition. This theory, even if it's just a theory, forces us to confront a darker side of the Pokemon universe. And I think that's what's so great about this whole thing. It takes a Pokemon that seems simple, unassuming. It reveals this whole world of hidden depth, a reminder that even in a universe filled with fantastical creatures, there are still stories of loss, of longing, in the search for identity. It's enough to make you look at Ditto in a whole new light. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? So next time you see a Ditto, just remember, there might be more to them than meets the eye. Keep exploring, trainers, and until next time, keep diving deep. But hey, let's take this a step further. If Ditto is a failed Mew clone, what does that mean for Mewtwo, the successful clone? Are they aware of each other? Do they share some kind of connection? Something to think about. Until next time, trainers, keep those Pokeballs ready.